Hello England, civilised country. My name is Paul Murphy. I'll just do this on one camera. Come on legs, hold me up a little bit longer. It's the 29th of January 2024. Once again, I have to sing a song called As Ye Sow, So Shall Ye Reap. There is a 9-year-old girl in this country who was too ill to go to school today and was kept off of school. And at 4 p.m. Wednesday evening, she said to the parent that she lives with, "I'm burning up. I'm like a nugget." She was refused medication to bring the temperature down and eat the eggs. Last Friday, her 11-year-old brother was off school, too ill to go to school, a fever. 4 o'clock in the evening, he's saying it's hot. "I couldn't sleep last night," he said to his father, who was the other parent, and he was talking to on the telephone. "I slept a little bit, Daddy," he said, "but I woke up and I was so achy." He said, "I just couldn't get back to sleep." I said, "The ache's gone now?" No. He said, "It's achy all over, Daddy." The father said to the boy, "But have you still got Calpol in the house that I sent you?" That the father had sent him, because the mother wouldn't help buy medication. "No Calpol," came the mother's voice. To use the word mother is an insult to her mother. So came the other parent's voice. So this boy had to suffer all the way through. He was refused medication. He was coughing, he couldn't stop coughing, and his throat hurt. So the father said to him, "Well, have you got any of those soothers left that I sent you last year? What are they?" I said, "Well, they're like lozenges and they've got honey on the inside and they melt and they clean your nose and soothe you. Help take some of the bite off your throat. Do you need me to send you any more?" "We have all those," came this Eastern European Putin supporting voice from the other room. So the father, gently and politely, said, "Well, they need to be in the boy's mouth, not in the cupboard." So that's the backstory. You can guess what's happened. You know that the brother got better, but the sister caught the flu bug and he's been off school today and he's been refused medication. Well, that was too much for the father. So the father said, "Okay," to the girl. He said, "Okay." He said, "Right, you've been refused medication. I'm going to make a note of it." Next thing, the phone is taken out. And the father is looking at this rage-infused face. And he knew what was coming after 12 years of violence and drunkenness. And he said, "Don't even think about it. Don't even think about starting on the children, because I will call the police." Down went the telephone. Police were called yet again. And the father pointed out to the police that just 3 weeks. "Well," said the police. Well, the police said, "Do you have any fears for the imminent concern? I'm so sorry, I've talked the jaw out, I'm not going to sing. The father, by the way, is terminally ill and is dying. I won't tell you who he is, but I can tell you that his arms have wasted away to nothing." Oh. And the police know the father's terminally ill because he sent them. "Have you called Children's Services? If not, we advise you." The father pointed out that just 3 weeks ago he had supplied, and the father has an advocacy agency to help him do things like sort his final affairs out and arrange care and get people to bathe him, etc. And 3 weeks ago, this 11-year-old boy, there was a sudden text through on the father's phone on a Sunday. The boy had risked, big risk, and the boy's got a black eye. Oh my God, says the father, and replied, how did it happen? Don't know, Daddy, came the reply. It just happened suddenly. The only people in the house were the other parent. Parent is just the wrong word to use. The other were an adult and a young sister who can barely reach his belly button, let alone his eye. The next day the father called the school to ask if the boy was at school. We can't tell you that. Well, why not? Because I'm his father. We've been told that he doesn't have a father. Well, who told you that? The mother. But you know that I'm his father because you've seen paperwork from me, and that says you're not on our records. Well, put me on the records. As the father was pointing out to the police today, and they hung the phone up on the father, wouldn't take his call. As the father pointed out to the police this evening, it doesn't matter whether I'm the father or whether I'm Fred the milkman, he said to the police. If I'm a total stranger, you know, a member of the public is phoning you at school and saying, is boy X at school today? Because if he's not, I know, because I've seen photographic evidence, that yesterday morning he got a black eye from a blow. So if he's not there, doesn't matter if I'm the father, the guy is saying, you know, or whoever I might be Harry who sells raspberries on the market stall. If that boy's not at school, maybe you want to get around there, see his eye, ask if he's being taken to a doctor, which he wasn't, he was refused medical treatment, we assume because someone didn't want to have to explain how this injury happened, and see if he's okay. The boy's text says it hurts so bad I can't even look at my devices. And then take action to find out, no, nothing. So the father forwarded that photograph to his advocacy agency, and they made a professional referral to Cambridge Children's Services, who did nothing. And that referral came on the back of a previous referral from just before Christmas that was made by a children's charity based on photographs taken from videos of horrendous injuries that they'd seen. So you got today, nothing being done. Today happens after, and again the father's pointing out, one would like to think that in England, the so-called civilised land where we care about children, but we don't, which is what I'm talking, point of this video I'm talking here about. If anyone knew that a young child not been at school, and the person who made the decision that this child was so ill and had a fever so high they could not go to school, and this child is saying, I'm burning up, and they've been refused any medication, I'd like to think anyone would have intervened there. But this is not one instance. This comes on the back of Friday's instance. Friday's instance comes on the back of 3 weeks ago, unexplained black eye. The unexplained black eye comes on the back, further instance, in December. Child, young girl's leg suddenly bandaged up, got caught in the door. How did it get caught in the door? Well, someone shut it on my leg. Well, how was an accident? Oh, you know, Daddy. When, unfortunately, I do. What I might point out is that, just in case you know, so the system doesn't work. I woke up this morning myself And because a lot of bad things are going on generally in the world, and I thought, oh, that's just, so I queued up the BBC website, the first thing I see. There's a list of the headlines, and the first thing there, and this is at 6:05 this morning. Another baby found dead in this country, courtesy of the mother. I'm sick of singing this song, and I'm sick of all these people with lanyards saying we've seen nothing to give us cause of concern. Just last week I sang this song based on what I'm telling you about the brother. And that came on the back of, I think it's 355 cases of child abuse in Lancashire, which is a county in England. And for over a decade, all of these well-paid people in their lanyards and their high opinion of themselves said, see nothing to give us cause of concern. While young girls were raped, beaten, gang raped, filmed being gang raped, turned into prostitutes, passed around like they were less than human, really. I mean, any kind of thing that I would have said there, like they were playing cards or cigarettes, you know, but they're not human. And for 15 years, at what point do these agencies of care and concern in this country actually see something? You know, and to say you haven't seen anything when you've been shown the photograph. Oh, and just to go back to the black eye incident, the father, and this is all on video, as I pointed out to the police tonight, or as the father pointed out to the police tonight. You don't need to take my word for it, he said to the police. I filmed it. I videoed it because the guy likes to video his chats with his children because he's terminally ill and doesn't have that many more left. So I can just send you the video and you can hear and you can see the look on my face. You can see the rage and the anger. And I just know that as soon as that phone went down, the children we started on again. And now I'm going to sing As Ye Sow, so shall you reap. Stick the original key of E. For various physical reasons, I am unable to tune the guitar. I'm going to put some glasses on, just to cover my eyes up. I wrote this song in early 2023, and here we are in early 2024. Don't do that. I'm sick. I'm sick beyond all imagination of children in this country going hungry, going around with bruises, their self-esteem stripped away. Oh, I didn't say, but at the start of this, while the daughter is there in her pyjamas, the boy is being screamed at in the other room. What's being said, you can hear the boy begging, please, please, please. That's his words. That's not the father's words being transmuted through me. I'm begging you, mummy, I'm begging you, mummy. England. You may be able to hear some screaming and everything going on. What the heck was that? That's one of my crutches falling over. As ye sow, so shall ye reap. I certainly hope that somewhere down the line some of these people start reaping, because it's, you know, posthumous justice is no good whatsoever. How do you give a child their childhood back? There's something in your soul that makes even the devil shudder. There's venom and there's vitriol in every syllable you utter. I don't know why you wake up, let alone how you sleep. Remember this though, as ye sow, so shall ye reap. You revel in putrescence and slake your thirst in innocent tears. Your unholy essence, it has shadow-drenched their years. But I will pull them free from you, and safe I shall them keep. I know that as ye sow, so shall ye reap. What peace pleasure do you get inflicting pain on all you view? Herod himself would balk at all the twisted things you do. Oh, you gloat with arcane eyes as you make my children weep. But always know that as ye sow, so shall ye reap. When blind-eyed justice should come calling, that can finally balance up the scales. On that day your bed will be unmade, your screams for mercy will be to no avail. You will not escape the pit you've dug, for you've made its walls too steep. It's foretold that as ye sow, so shall ye reap. Every insult that you hurl, you gloat below to see them hit. Your skull and crossbone flag unfurled, your hatred hand blows that just don't quit. Do you think they will forgive you? That you won't know defeat? Naive fool as ye sow, so shall ye reap. Where can you escape to that your infamy will not follow? When you land upon the stand, your excuses none shall swallow. Where you start is where you'll end. The circle shall be complete. As ye sow, so shall ye reap. should just add as an afterword. In addition to the children's services. The trouble is, you see, people, when these agencies, this is not hearsay, check this out, go back through, don't take my word for it, go through the newspapers and see the records. It works the same in a lot of these NHS cases you see today. A heartbreaking story on the BBC website today, a young couple. Yet another baby scandal in the NHS. More children dying through lack of care. There's still investigations to see if it was accidental malpractice or, another case like that hideous one last year. And it's a heartbreaking headline. This young lady, this young mother. And she said, we came home with an empty car seat. Their first child. And they've had to wait all this time because the can just keeps kicking down the road. So they don't even get any closure and sense of justice in a reasonable time span. They sit there stewing over it and everything for all this time. But all these agencies, I notice it myself from my own misdiagnosed illness, And the NHS actually struck me off when we started negligence investigations, and no GP would take me. 2 years without a GP or any medication there. But when these agencies make a mistake, they don't go, okay, because no one wants to lose their job and their mortgage and their lovely house. No one. You go back through any of these cases that you have seen in the news over all these years and decades, and you say, what happened to the social worker and the social services worker and the head of the social services in all these cases? Did they lose their jobs? What's happened to them? Have they been prosecuted? It never happens. They make a mistake, and then they have to keep making that same mistake. And this is what's happening in the instance I'm quoting direct today. With regard to the children I'm talking about, 4 agencies have seen video evidence, photographic evidence, and heard, in some cases, audio evidence. September 2020, Respect the National Male Domestic Abuse Organisation, based on photographs they'd seen and prehistory that they knew about, made an urgent referral to children's services regarding fears for the safety of these children. They were ignored. The 5th of February, no, 5th of the evening, 5th of October 21. So they would have made the referral on the 6th. On the 6th of October 2021, Dr. Hannah Good of a hospital near where the father lives. The father was rushing into the hospital and wasn't expected to survive the night. And he had the photographs of some fresh injuries, and he said, please, if I don't make it through the night, please protect my children. They made a referral. They were ignored. The 26th of June 2023, Avon and Somerset Police visited the father after a charity worker actually had been found to be accessing his bank accounts. Lovely charities in this country, huh? When you're vulnerable, the more vulnerable you are, the more vultures there are. Even Somerset Police made a referral and they were ignored. And, as previously mentioned a few weeks ago in advocacy, these are 4 professional bodies. Okay. An abuse charity. Oh, sorry, there's a 5th one. And a children's charity made a referral. So, you have to assume that the country's leading children's charity don't know what they're talking about. The country's leading male domestic abuse charity don't know what they're talking about. That a senior doctor in the Southwest Major Hospital doesn't know what she's talking about. The advocacy agent doesn't know what she's talking about. And the Avon and Somerset police don't know what they're talking about. So you either accept that all 5 of those don't know what they're talking about, or you must accept that somewhere in Cambridgeshire, who have history of a girl being repeatedly raped and beaten and then murdered because they didn't do anything. Again, look it up. It's a hideous story, heartbreaking. Or at that end, they don't know what they're doing. As I keep saying, when these people say to the father, we've seen nothing to give us cause for concern. Okay, so if you don't think that an 11-year-old boy with an unexplained black eye, or a 9-year-old girl, then 8 years old, almost having her leg broken by it being put in a door and the door slammed shut on her, is not cause for concern, I say that you're either mentally ill, or maybe you just, you know, there's a secret bit of, how can one word this? Copacetic thinking in that. Everything I've told you is true and verifiable by video. And that song is also a true story. It is, unfortunately, 500,000 true stories. And unless, as a nation, we actually start demanding that the people who make mistakes are punished and treated as an accessory, so that the people that remain in those positions actually do their job, not for fear of getting not invited to the office Christmas party, but a fear of going to jail and maybe having their assets sequestrated as damages, then maybe our children will be protected. But until that actually happens, it won't, okay? I don't know whether to talk a little bit more about it or not. Yeah. But as I'm saying, the other thing I would say is it also needs to be split up, because they all know each other. What they say is, well, we've got this, now I take this holistic approach. If they spent less time thinking up clever acronyms and more time looking at bruises, more children would not die, would not be living in fear, would not be cowering under the blankets, would not be becoming immune to the blows and taking that on through the rest of their lives, would not end up in bad relationships 20 years down the line because, what was that song from the 60s, He Hit Me and It Felt Like a Kiss? Courtney Love covered it on the whole album and got a lot of flack from it. But what she's saying is, it's still going on, so, you know, if you become so immune to it, you know, if you've grown up with it, you pass it on. How can you fail to? So you need to split these ages up. Because it's one thing to have an honest person in that department, and you think, she's made a mistake, and it's another to get a bit of paper and go, oh no, my mate Janet has made a mistake here. Oh dear. Hello Janice. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, alright. Cover it up this time. Yeah. No, let's come up with a unified story, okay? What we're going to stick with. We saw nothing to give us cause for concern. That's their buzzword quote. And doesn't make your skin crawl. It's up there with, I was only following orders, as far as I'm concerned. You know, because it all deals with dehumanization. And given my ethnicity, take it from me, I know all about that. That is a song I would have loved to have given that to Sinead to sing. Unfortunately, she had issues herself so deep. I met her about 1994. I only have a very tiny Sinead O'Connor anecdote, but it's just come to mind. She was so funny. Oh man, was she so funny. I tried to get her to sign a bootleg CD I had from the tour. I can't remember what it was called. Now, Year of the Horse, I think it was called. I'm not signing your bloody bootleg. Give me 50 quid, man. So, anyway, humorous anecdote to finish on. Thank you all.